Leaving for Texas this morning. Got the van all ready to go and the trailer's all hooked up. Oh, but it's gonna be a little different this time because it's a very different trailer. This is a little different setting than you're used to seeing us in our videos. I'm actually inside my Jeep Wrangler, primarily because I'm trying to stay out of the cold wind today. This is a good location for me to talk about this video though, because in early November, I ended up trailering this Jeep down to Texas. I needed to go down for a work event. I was helping to host an event sponsored by E3 Off-Road and E3 Camping at Merus Adventure Park, which is located in Palo Duro Canyon. That's in the Amarillo area. That's the closest big city. But the adventure park itself sits right on the edge of the canyon, and they actually own a huge part of the canyon. I want to say it's like 5,700 acres or so. If you're not familiar with how land is handled in Texas, almost all of it is privately owned. And in this case, this canyon is no different. This 5,700 acres was originally part of a ranch that was purchased by the current owners of Merus, and they have decided to open it up as an off-road park. I took advantage of my trip down to Texas from Michigan to check out a few things along Route 66, and there's a couple of highlights that I want to share with you in this video. And then also I have pictures and video from the adventure park itself. Palo Duro Canyon is amazing. I'd never heard of it. A lot of people I've talked to have never heard of it, and yet it is the second largest canyon in North America, behind only the Grand Canyon. It's 1,000 feet deep, it's 20 miles wide in places, and it's about 100 miles long. It is a beautiful area of Texas. It's kind of surreal because outside of Amarillo, there's a lot of ranch land. It's a lot of flat prairie. And you're driving along, and even as you enter Merus Adventure Park, you're thinking, where's this canyon I'm going to be driving into? And then if you drive in far enough, all of a sudden there is a giant hole in the earth. And it is really worth the time if you get a chance to go there. Either Merus Adventure Park on one end of the canyon, or you can also visit Palo Duro Canyon State Park, where I understand it's very different in that the rock walls are a little bit more sheer. There's actually a paved road that you can drive down to the bottom of the canyon. But if you have an opportunity to take a four-wheel drive vehicle, I'd highly recommend going to Merus. It was a great time. I spent about a week there with several days on the trails. I was a trail leader and ended up taking some E3 camping members who had never been off-road before out on the trails with their tow vehicles. So we had a Ram Power Wagon and we had a Ford F350 Tremor. So those are built to go off-road, even though they are quite large. But we also had some standard four-wheel drive pickup trucks. And as long as you have four-wheel drive low on your vehicle, Merus will let you go down there. There are green, blue, black, and double black trails, which if you do any skiing, it kind of follows that pattern in terms of how difficult the trails are. But it really is a good opportunity for all vehicles of all types and all experience levels. So check it out if you can. I hope you enjoy some of the highlights from my trip. I really wish Jessie could have gone with me, but timing just wasn't working for her with work and everything else she had going on. And so this is something that I had to do myself. I'm glad I went. It's an area I do recommend you go to, and I want to take Jessie back there sometime because I think she would have a blast down in this canyon. $0.34 per gallon for gasoline. Those are the good old days. I'm at the Conoco Tower Station along Old Route 66 in Shamrock, Texas. And this is a pretty cool place. I mean, the Art Deco styling of the building, it's, they said, a classic example of a gas station and diner that were along Route 66. And anybody who is a Pixar fan may recognize this as the location that was known as Ramone's in the movie Cars. I'm parked on the side of Old Route 66 right along Interstate 40 west of Amarillo, and I just got done visiting the Cadillac Ranch. I would do this stand-up out there, but it is so windy, I don't think the microphone could handle it. So I'm back in the van. This iconic piece of public art has been here since the early 1970s when they buried 10 Cadillacs nose first into the ground, and apparently they range anywhere from 1949 to 1963 in their model years. They've now been in the ground longer than they were on the road, and they are coated in layers and layers and layers of spray paint. This is the thing to do. People come out here, they spray paint the cars, they make their art. They hope it lasts more than a few hours, probably, because so many people come out here to see this and to do their own piece of artwork on it. I tried to get some pictures because Jesse's not with me and I wanted to show her what it's like. I got some close-up pictures, but I don't think you can really capture it in video or in photo how many layers of paint there are until you stand there and stare at one of these cars and realize how many years people have been coming out here and painting these things. It's kind of kitschy. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's just one of those things you do, I guess, when you're out here. And it's something to see if you're going by. I went about 15 miles further out than I was going to because I saw Cadillac Ranch was that close. So 30-mile round trip probably to come out and see this thing. And I figured when I'm that close, I might as well see it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a neat thing to see, I suppose. And if you get a chance and you're anywhere near Amarillo, consider checking out Cadillac Ranch.